That room, I think, of different teams. Bowl Noodle, thank you for the gifted, and Requisite, thank you so much for the 100 bits, bro. I appreciate you. Are we in the slump ranked-wise? I mean, I have no idea about ranked.
How do you even fight your way through this? The fact that they were even able to get one in exchange is impressive.
Yeah, they're still going to try to brute force their way onto this B site. There's 3 members still here. Kazane is so low, Doug.
Bustio having to take a step back, play behind some of that utility as Xander playing behind the smoke.
Okay, well, that makes it nice and easy. I mean, it's nicely done from Xander, not just sending it through the smokes, but his smokes also, and then just obviously double kill is great.
You know all this setup utility is there, and you still decide to hold W on this B side of the map.
He said 100 fees were underperforming.
Down a little bit, not try to brute force your way.
I mean, I think that's fair. But didn't they have an insanely hard route?
That smoke.
Yeah, that's
in kickoff.
I mean, him getting the spacing on that, but I mean, you saw the trap that was set up from the very beginning, and so you imagine if you're crew, you're going to want to start to play.
I mean, it's just an overreaction.
Obviously, an eco for them, but already seeing a different approach, a heavy focus on Dish.
Yeah, and for 100 Thieves, heavy focus on a main. Way different than what we saw in the pistol round, and yeah, crew. This is very common strat on the attacking side when you do lose the pistol round. Just try to farm up as many orbs as you can. That's why you saw some light B main control.
Mill27 with the prime. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you.
Bullying them, and of course, it's
well, at least they're doing it together. A little bit risky to push against the ecos, but doing it together, I prefer it a little bit more. Okay, nicely done. That's a good ult to get early on as well.
Yeah, he's 2 pips off of his ult.
Yeah, that could be huge into this round if they take control of A main again, gather that orb onto him. Crew are going to have to play a little bit more reactive on this first gun round for them. We get a little bit of that replay of these shots being hit. Bustio popping off is a good thing for him too, because I feel like he's a player that starts off kind of slow in a lot of these series that we've seen so far. But the impact.
Yeah, I agree with that. But he also just does, when he has confidence, he also just does plays that shouldn't be happening on the agents that he is. Okay, let's see what Crew's got for their first week buy rounds. We get the op out early for Cryo. And as we can see, there is a drone pushing them off, but no one's going to be following that. Ooh, they go for the... Okay, they go for... This is going to be a throwback. They go for 2022, or was it 2023 Talon? 2023 Talon, right? This used to be their default the whole time, where they would smoke this off and the Jip Boys would go under.
And it's just a brawl.
The Jip Boys was a Garnets.
It's just fighting fire with fire
Garnets,
right now.
yeah, that's
Using Crew, but finally Crew decide to slow things
down. Dude, this default used to be sick though, but they would use it every single round, right?
The problem is that it was a 4-1 setup from the start of the round, 400 Thieves, and now they're going to be funneled into Cryo Cells op. Yeah, he's an A main. He's not going to beat them Dish.
What happened to him? I'm not sure. He was good, yeah.
He hears all this utility being used on the actual A site. It's going to be hard to deal with him.
Yeah,
I think they had a rough season.
On defense,
they
had
like a really good kickoff into a rough season.
There's really no way to cover it, but a lot of the things that you do to cover that.
He's in challenges at the moment.
In one of those open lanes, but he's playing alongside.
Okay, Cryo now, no vision block of this one. Ooh, that's a great trade.
That was a fast trade from his.
Yeah, that's a really nice trade.
That could have gone really, really bad for Crew. Yeah. If he gets that pick and gets out, all of a sudden this is unwinnable for Crew, or at least it would feel like. Now they're able to set up in this post plant, and yeah,
that was the team that used triple duelist. Oh, that split. I remember that split.
Up that operator. He's juggling back to that Vandal. Still a Molly.
Xander no smokes on this one. Should be pretty hard for 100 Thieves.
Up to time 100 Thieves get on site.
You imagine the timing is close. And for 100 Thieves,
no smokes.
You kinda gotta speed up here. There's the Molly off the tap. He's gonna buy a little bit of time here, waiting for the start out from Dish, but it's not there. There's the fault line you were looking for as well. EU has gone untouched by it. They're baiting into this.
Oh, dude, the trades are fast from Crew though. We're out here trading like this. It should be a pretty good game. Really good damage though for 100 Thieves. They should be happy with this one. Do they decide to go aggro here, and what on earth does Cryo buying? Because someone's going to take a hit here. Oh, it's incredibly close to a...
Doesn't really set yourself up.
Okay, you flicked too much to the right. So close to a collat.
Unlucky, just an inch off.
Also, note here, we were talking
What's the
about
point buying the op into this round? Majority of the time, you can play so passive that you can always save it. And because the money's so low from crew that in like in the 2-0, they normally want to focus on their own money so they won't hunt. So why the op is normally okay on the third buy, to be honest with you, or like third round. Like no one wants to really hunt that much.
But if it was, they would have punished Asuna surely. Cryo.
Shot.
As sick as ever.
Yeah, and this is why Boostio and Asuna take the hit, because this guy's a monster.
Confidently stay and maybe even get another before swinging back out. They're investing the
He did so good, but we done a bit of research.
What good prep from Adverso.
Yeah, we done a bit of research. Got the punish for once he takes the TP.
Based off of where Cryo was playing, if Xander can get the spray down,
it
could be pretty bad, but can't connect.
He has so much more HP than I thought he would have.
He was able to gather that orb, so he does have Breach Ult online. We'll upgrade a gun as well right here, but Shy is going to meet him here.
He's going to spot him too. I don't know if he's expecting a second EU might be able to cover him, but if he's slow on this, he's going to miss the window.
Still, the trade is kind of worth it.
Trade comes through. Shy now dead.
They don't get too much from the ult. Dude, nice shot.
Crispy out from Mizzino. Xander's left in a 1v2.
Mizzino is so fast.
Yeah, again, time is short. Mizzino has been, I mean, surgical with it already, but
okay, nicely done from crew.
Not enough time to solve it all on the fly.
Oh, could have been better, considering like the numbers of people to actually get any space off of it.
But they're so quick, like I mean, just instant. And crew are up back into this mix. I mean, making it even right now and putting 100 Thieves on the back end, the economy is so bad. Look at that intuition, understanding there's only a couple spots where this chamber can TP back to. That's really quick thinking.
That's really, yeah, to be able to catch on replay too is very nice.
Jeez.
Knowing where he was going to be and knowing where
yeah, this is nice. Also, if we're just focusing on positives, like crew here, when they have a big ante like they did for the chamber, like when they know it's over towards arcades, they can punish it with, like they did here, salvos or breach damage. Nice that they bring this out on such an important round. Alright, it's a round to make sure that they go down to eco, using your ante in the most impactful round to give yourself the best chance. That's what you want to be doing on this one. And then now the snowball can begin.
That was very clean, getting ahead of all that utility. Right now, the calling is looking really good from the side of crew. And 100 Thieves, I mean, if you lose this next round, I'm expecting a quick timeout. You're not going to be able to keep this up. So far, crew only had to deal with that cryo cells op on the bonus. Let's see how they decide to game plan against it this time. It's kind of obvious too from the side of 100, from this four crew,
Can get a
right?
little
If
weird
you
with
see
the ults.
They
want to send
obvious
this.
that the chamber's going to be at the opposite side of the map.
Right.
Oh, that double stun is outrageous.
All stunned out, but the counter stun causes problems. EU clean with it onto Kesnet.
Right there.
That was the Neon ult too. Now for what? Shy's investing his ult here. This is a 4v2. He's gonna have to win out and find value out of this.
Dude, some of these ults are incredibly questionable.
Crazy. We wish you saved that for the following round. I mean, your economy's been looking good. Stuff hasn't really gotten out of hand for you too much. Wanting to clutch a 2v4 with an ult like that might come back to do some damage.
Yeah, you got me
later on.
there.
That's tough. That's tough. And now with the spike being down, I mean, Shy's left alone. He has looked good so far in stopping some of that early aggression. I mean, he punished Asuna one time already, which is a lot more than what I feel like EG was able to do. But with him being found out right here and being so low,
Anti-Killjoy ult, but with the Visor, yeah, you might be right. Do they know most commonly they're going to go underpass with the ult, so then they just do the aggro push on top side, so they can just retake together.
Set plays off the spawn.
I think considering how costly this round went and the fact that their money isn't looking too good when you look at their money right now, and you look at the ults that they have online, yeah,
it's definitely what the good fracture teams used to do back in the day. EG was actually one of them as well, so
whether that's bottom
maybe
side
Boostio and
or top side. I think because they fought top side this
they
last
coach
round,
brought
they'll
over.
probably pivot back to the bottom and just guess if someone's there and try to enable cryo. Try to get this operator online, try to see if he can get put in the right spot to punish some of these
Dude, I forgot his name for a bit.
Because, I mean, the economy is not in their favor anymore. Yes, they're going to win this round. You only save 2 guns.
I do think, though, too, I mean, that's, I don't know, one of the things I like about Fracture and watching Fracture in a professional setting is even if you do invest a lot of time and a lot of personnel into taking away one lane with a lot of like a crunch at the very beginning of the round, even if there's nobody there, you've taken one of those lanes away, and that's so valuable when you got 4 lanes you have to figure out on defense.
Yeah, if you don't have map control on the defensive side, this map feels terrible to play.
Right.
You're going to get baited on every rotation.
Okay, another round with the op.
The right set pieces, the right utility, and the right site to delay, and then you're playing retake, and you can't. I mean, retaking on this map, to say the least, is so difficult. So you see the Brim is set up here. Xander and Asuna were waiting.
Okay, a little bit of pressure. They show Fawns. They do insta drone,
but I like Crew's approach right now.
And they drop a smoke down as well. So pressure, then group up and take well, looking like group up into hit on a.
Most likely has this operator. Maybe a break.
They go close. They hear this.
Somewhere else. Oh, a bait out of an ult. Oh, but it separates everybody.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's
Oh,
really, really nice. We've been speaking about this a little bit when it comes to maps. Can we talk here? That should be fine, right? Yeah. So, Teo ult, it's insanely strong, and on certain maps you can't take areas. Right, on Split, you can't be playing Vents against an attack tail, or on Pearl, you can't play back of A site, and on Fracture, you can't play this area. It is the best ult right now. So it's a real simple one in terms of trip, to give them info, ult, and then salvos in front. So yeah, a little bit of a mess up from Crew. They can't be doing this against ult.
To back up for some of these players in Dish. Having to push all the way forward, and that's a huge round win for 100 Thieves to win off of one ultimate used. I mean, you saved
ultimate and the trip.
Yeah, ultimate trip to win the round. That was it. Talk about efficiency.
I mean, the salvos played a big role in that as well. We're obviously simplifying it a bit, but you're absolutely right. There's speed up towards B here. There's the Brim ult that you were looking for.
Oh, Zenit is taken out.
Traded right back though.
Boostio's making so many loud steps. Mazzino gets a
freebie.
Crew
They're not in an unbelievable position now.
And they just overwhelm the B site completely. Now they're able to set up in this post plant. They've been doing a really good job of avoiding this.
Yeah, they might have to save.
I mean, and even with all the success that they've had this round, in case things do get a little hairy, you've got Adverso's ult.
There's way more than that combined from other stuff. Yeah, but I think they're like the main 3 at the moment. Like that's like, in my opinion, they're on the same level as the. Ooh. They're on the same level as like you know, when you have a Brim ult and you don't want to play inside the lamps.
I think Crew have been doing a phenomenal job of
it'll become more common knowledge than that.
That is something that they failed to do against EG.
Like they're the 3 most common.
It's just impressive to see adaptations being made in the micro things and just strategy, because they understand where Cryo is setting up this operator. It's been towards this A site most of the time. I think
Crew not one in the attack op? Nope,
doesn't
look like it.
Of masking where that op is. They need to maybe use
I think you want to get it out of this guy's hands anyway.
There, rotate towards the other side of the map and set up a trap play elsewhere. But the thing is with 100 Thieves on this map is a lot of their success is in these early round aggressive plays. They're not really ones to fall back and play a retake style. They kind of want to push the fight to you and win within, you know, the first 15, 20 seconds of the game.
Which, I mean, given the state of the game, that feels like the way you should be playing, right? If you're not leveraging your breach Centejo missiles at the beginning of the round on a 4-lane map, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think now this timeout, Zix is definitely going to be talking about, okay, how can we get this Cryo Cells operator more online? Maybe let's put him with our core team potentially and try to set him up. Try to get him some free kills of Crew contacting in. To be fair, like I was saying, Crew have been doing a good job of using
surely we get the nerf.
You know, but it's just kind of
surely after Toronto we get the nerf coming in.
Asuna is. It's obvious that the operator isn't on that side of the map.
We'll see if they move him around on the other side of this timeout. I think for Crew, you're right. They have figured a couple of things out. The layered utility that you were mentioning and scaling up behind it, and sometimes they're really pacey and explosive on it. They've been able to keep 100 Thieves kind of on a back foot, so to speak.
I'd like to see more trap plays from 100 Thieves as well. I mean,
okay, Cry gets his op out, and let's see what kind of set play we got. Asuna has ult as well, but obviously has guns. So
that makes more trap plays. With the way that Crew have been playing, they can really get punished.
I wonder if 100 Thieves are going to be going a little bit more aggro on their rounds.
Arcade. Yeah, this is a peek that he did before.
Whoa.
And salvo missiles were used in this spot
Wait,
of Gen.
insta
and
salvo.
co-spawn as well.
Yeah.
So remember, he
So
might
yeah,
get
they feel
punished
like
for
they've
this.
done.
Yeah, this will be
They
the
love a
second.
little. They love a little
Yeah, dude.
bit of
The drone will
fake
tag him.
pressure into
Tail too late.
insta sends
Yeah,
on the other side right
He's
now.
gonna dip back into this. I thought he was gonna land a shot on Asuna, or excuse me, Kesnet, but he does fall anyway. Xander flushed out, forced to fight, forced to swing, and dies because of it. Meanwhile, the Vice Wall on the bottom side of the map has made things awkward, and it's made things disjointed for the defense.
Nice reaction from 100
This
Thieves.
fight on to Shy
Maybe part
is
of the
big.
maybe part of the timeout.
Him winning that out is insane. He gets
Ooh,
rolled.
really, bro? Dodges the stun,
He
got
said
double.
He's gonna have to be the difference maker. He's gonna have to deal with this aggression from the defensive 100 Thieves, and he's been doing that very well. He's been weathering that storm so good. And job's done now for him.
Shy
All
did
this
incredible
goes
here
well.
as well to get the
100 Thieves
double
can
kill
do
and then
this.
stay alive like this as well.
So much utility. Yeah, Cryo gets this pick, but
Last player
Oops.
standing.
with Cryo dropping to adverse those Teo missiles, it's just rough. EU's gonna have to save.
All done to take another gun out of their hands.
I have to point out, it's such good layered utility.
Okay, so
from the
I'm
side of
pretty
Crew
sure
to
100 Thieves are
deny
just
Cryo
gonna.
anything. And
Don't
you
want to
saw
say for
Cryo was
all of the
trying to
rounds here,
punish,
but
trying to get
I
ahead
reckon
of
at
that
least
smoke, trying to
2
get
out
the
of the
scope
3
on
they go
Kesnet.
super
Peek at
aggro.
the wall,
Yeah, but the follow-up Teo ultimate to make sure that he can't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the game plan. Just don't allow Cryo to have the time and the space to be able to find those opening picks.
Disrupting Chambers' timing and his pacing has proved to be effective for Crew.
What a great game plan. Now, 100 Thieves, they're forced to have to change the pace, forced to have to do a top side
Yeah,
crunch.
here we go. Set strats.
Look
For
at the
sure the
Teo missiles.
timeout was going to be
And
about
set up
this.
for Cryo.
Yeah, Cryo's got to get out of there, and they are ready for this. And this is definitely something, if you look at 100 Thieves when they went aggro in their last game on Fracture, it is like Asuna really far ahead, and there's not an opportunity to trade.
Still through all of that.
So I think Crew did great on this one. And Crew's definitely done their homework. It feels like Cryo,
As well. And I think they
I-
heard you there,
ooh,
and if he didn't
hold
hear
up.
him, he certainly just saw the barrel of his
like
gun.
Cryo's having a really hard time just against
Shy's calling the
the
rotation over
Teo
here as
salvos.
well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you don't have smokes, and you know that Cryo could be anywhere in this drop area. And with this free B site being accumulated, Cryo's going to have to 1v3.
Doable.
And there's still a Vice Wall. It's going to give so much info to Crew. They're going to be able to set up this post plant however they want. They can play ones. They can play together. But I kind of like this. That's not heard.
You're just trying to introduce as many possibilities, as many variables as possible.
Do Crew read into this, though?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Nicely
even with that
done.
on, you still have to lay in the shots.
They're
and
getting a lot of rounds.
Cryo's
It
not
is
able to do so. We've
attack-sided
seen
on
them
this map,
continues to
though.
perform at a high level for Crew
But
today.
the Crew comp
Just what good
on
game
attack
planning from Crew so far.
does
on this
normally
attack side.
struggle
Yeah,
because
they're
they don't
abusing
get that
the chamber
passive
TP
info
locations. You
against
can
these
tell they're
pushes.
drilled, and they thought this through ahead of time.
Abusing the aggression that 100 Thieves are going to bust out. Like, understanding when 100 Thieves will actually go for those plays, when it kind of feels like it's a little bit desperate in the server, right? A great read so far. And yeah, because Mazzino's been popping off so hard, he's going to have another Breach ultimate online here.
Dude, what's going on over there?
This guy's farming ults like it's nothing.
Speed up towards A. How much do they bite into this? Because it was all a fake. Uh-oh. Adverso might be in trouble. Did they try to punish? Look at the reinforcements.
Oh, this is nice. Everyone's going to come fight here.
Don't pull the trigger.
Yeah, this is what 100 Thieves do on their defense as well. So I like the Crew are in for this as well. Just any kind of sign of some kind of aggro, everyone just joins and fights heavy. I think you really have to do that a lot on this this comp with the Vice. Again, it's hard for you to get info and work out where you need to be stacking.
The Rolling Thunder 2, they're going to try to flood out behind it. The stun to delay Kesnet, so one half of the crunch
Okay,
is dealt
definitely
with.
keep an eye on
Once
Shy.
again, in Armageddon invested.
Oh, that is an insanely important kill. And that's a big whiff as well.
And Asuna took so much control.
Does Asuna get this kill?
Took a lot of damage. Still lands the shots on
Nice, dude.
Kesnet, gets the kill.
Player standing.
Meanwhile, Adverso, a little slippery on the aim. You know,
just
spamming through smokes. The
Yeah,
guy
what
can
can he
no
do?
wrong.
Yeah, what can he do right now? I mean, shouldn't be able to win this, surely. Oh my goodness, Doug.
There's still a lot of work to be done here.
And he's getting flanked. I mean, if he takes out Cryo on this flank.
It's still a 1v2 that you have to face the side for with 15 seconds left. You could not convince me that this is possible.
He's doing it.
I refuse.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he gave it a good go.
That was closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Never doubted.
Got you sweating a little bit, huh?
No, all good. Never doubted.
Good damage done. But, you know, good reactions from 100 Thieves there to bait out that breach shot and kind of react to not getting pinched from Kez.
What do I think is the best
Kesner to
Sentinel
Dish.
to pick on Fracture?
like
I think
that
it's Cypher,
Asuna isn't
personally.
afraid to take all that aggressive space after that Armageddon is used. And at that point, I mean, Crew are
But
just
yeah, I think it's
stuck,
very open.
forced to run into A when Cryo takes out Shy on the lurk. So it's been pretty even. It's been a battle back and forth so far. It's some pretty good Valorant we're seeing from both sides.
Not
Which you
chamber
would
build.
expect
I like the
both
chamber on
teams
this map,
sitting
but
3-1. One
I think
may be
chamber's
stronger than the other
viability
coming into
with
it, but
chamber's viability
both teams are
against the
looking to test
Teo
their
is
form heading into playoffs.
I don't know. It's
And
hard.
remember, seeding is considerable here.
I think you gotta think a little bit different with how you want to use the chamber. It's too much effort.
Remind me, if you get first seed, you only need to win one game.
Kesnet popping the ult, speeding forward. Oh,
How?
Classic.
How's he won that? How's he doing this?
Switches on
Dude,
in the
he
second
did so
And now
much
Rolling
here.
Thunder. Spike's still
Fast
not
flood
out
over
heaven.
towards site. Does Shy not push
Asuna,
behind
this
him
is
here?
bold, spotting two. Oh,
like
there's
he
so
thinks
many
they
layers
saw
behind
him.
this as well. The flash, the dash.
Spike
It's
down
so
B.
clean. Shy a 1v3. Okay, that's
Crazy
one.
shot on the first. It's going to be a double up here, though. This is going to be very difficult for Shy. He still has time. I mean, if he can grab this
Ooh, he
spike,
knows
he
where
might
they
be able
both
to get
are
out.
now.
I think it's too late now.
Oh, they're pushing him.
Oh, it's
Brother,
just
how do you do
too
that?
hard. A miracle shot. Oh, his movement's so good,
30
though.
seconds
Dropping
left.
down, waiting for the
Oh my
bait.
goodness.
Starting to swing up behind him. They give him his
That,
once, they give him
that
his
is not
once,
the
but
play,
EU
but fair
settles
play, man.
and lands the final
At least
shot
they
to
did it
secure the
together, I
round
guess.
for 100
But
Thieves.
I can't believe they gave him the ones like that. There's a real world in which Shy, of all players, hits that. He's the clutch king. Trying to run a player like that down. I mean, it works in your favor this time, but that is surely not the consistent play. Xander did a lot on this defensive side, anchoring this B site. And yeah, he got punished some of the time, but the fact that he was relentless, the fact that he never gave up and still stood in there strong, getting kills on the Kesnet with that, yeah, that was very close. He did 40 damage, he had a chance.
I'm not sure, Slimmetry. Probably
Definitely
you would
had a
imagine
shot to
something like
do
that
it.
would happen.
First bullet just a little high. A 6-6 half between Crew and 100 Thieves. The second half of Fracture on the other side of this break.
Dude, that was a mad play in the 1v2. Six on defense, 100 feet of chilling. The Vice is a little bit hard to play against. So I think this is still very doable for Crew. Like I'd be feeling alright if I was them. Right cost on this one? Nah, not on this one. Different venue? Yeah, League's been played in the main one. Cypher doesn't give you the amount of safety that Vice does. I just think that the Cypher's way better for the other agents that use on this map in terms of the info. And I think against the Brim as well, I just think the Cypher's better. Also on attack, I think that you're safer being able to 4-1 default with the one at the top to get info. I just think it's a easier way to play with the Cypher on this map. But I think this one's really open though, in terms of who you want to play Sentinel-wise. But yeah, I just think there's too much you can do with the cameras on this.
Back into the action. Again, if you are just joining us, it was a 6-6 half between Crew and 100 Thieves. I think a lot of the focus around the discussion leading into this map was Cryo on Chamber. We saw how good he can be with it. Is he going to be able to perform the same way he had in the past? And so far, Dre, that has not been the case.
This is annoying to call around on attack.
I mean, the scorelines really tell the story here. The
As in,
initiator
when your attack, right?
Nulling this Chamber out. But, Crew, last time they played defense Fracture, I mean, they got 11
When your attack, yeah. That's true.
A lot of focus towards the northern side of the map. You see that crunch coming in, and it's all going to be on EU to hold the line. Only one spotted, but he may have heard a little bit more gunfire.
Sight.
So,
They
yeah,
still have like an
space.
okay
Meanwhile,
amount of
Shy on the
util.
other side
That
with
is.
smoke. Spotting Asuna, cleaning him up. And as the cover dissipates, he does fall. Speeding back out on the site, Kesner trying to spam into it.
That's a madness. That's a madness. He gets away with that. Not a good plan for these. And they're just going to have to try spam through the smoke. They fool this. Yeah, they fool that for sure. 3 passing over towards main.
That reaction
Yeah,
from
they
100 Thieves, it makes sense to want to get proactive because there's so many players retaking from Dish. But they went a little too far. That was it. You didn't have any utility, you didn't have any eyes on the actual spike itself. And to be able to stick the spike like this for Crew, I mean, you basically just gifted them around. That's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice reaction from Crew, but yeah, I gotta question some of the decisions from 100 Thieves there.
He's going to continue to perform.
Okay, they're allowed 1 def on defense. We've got a hero.
Plenty of a lean towards B. They've taken hell as
Well,
well.
they're going fast. They're going fast with this one. Dude, this is a madness from Kesnet though. Just giving them a gun.
Boostio lands an insane shot.
Okay, they can kind of just slow default this now. There should be a lot of priority on this gun.
Should be some easy pickings here. Adverso, almost gets caught in transition, but does take out Asuna. All the meanwhile, Cryo was taking this B main space, trying to bait out a lot of that Vice utility. There's still a wall onto Dish, and again, Crew, this must be their protocols against.
I mean, I can't be angry at it. You got 2 reactions. You either try hit over towards the other site as they're trying to defend the gun, or you try and get the gun. They went for the first option. But that's a hard place to defend the gun, is my argument.
Boostio falls. Crew get through that with a Bulldog, 2 Guardians, and a Spectre.
And I'm wondering now for 100 Thieves if they've realized, okay, Crew in the last 2 rounds, yeah, it's pistol, yeah, it's anti-eco. They have pushed topside as a unit. 3-man pushing back-to-back rounds and kind of leaving Shy alone on this B site to anchor. I wonder if they're going to try to put somebody there, maybe as a lurk, or just try to fight it. Here we go.
Okay, feels like a must-win run for 100 Thieves, really. The bonus is great, though. It's a really good bonus on this one. For Crew, they go super aggro over towards A main in reaction. They at least find the wall. Oh, dude, they're pushing, right? Look at the stuns. Damn, that's nice.
That's a gorgeous crunch A main.
Taking a page out of 100 Thieves' book, Doug. This is stuff that we see 100 Thieves do to teams on the defensive side.
Yeah, and I would say that this was a little bit more coordinated from Crew than what we normally see from 100 Thieves in terms of their push.
Just a complete hit squad going underpass.
Like the util on that push is so strong.
Alone, holding that B main, they're so confident that everybody from 100 Thieves is
Teo
on site already.
and Neon.
Shy's gonna try to get up here.
The cool reaction here is just like EU can still win this round. So messed up their flash a little bit.
EU and Boostio, the 2 left, to try to keep back this attempted retake from Crew.
Just not aware of.
Dude, Crew's got some nice reactions though. I like all of this.
1v4, even a 2v4.
Leave sight, push underpass. This is cool.
Something that's left unchecked.
So much to worry about. What a very impressive round from Crew. The way they're playing together as a cohesive unit and taking these fights together, clearing out all this space on the defensive side. It's something we talked about that's really good to do on this map of Fracture, right?
Yeah, I think even watching how they layered that breach utility is dope.
Yeah.
You know, you think about, oftentimes it's the stun with the missiles to catch a trap, right?
Yeah.
If you kind of get a free kill, something like that, you don't feel bad investing it because it's regen util. But they stagger it, right? There are layers to how they approach it. First, it is the missiles, and then you still have the stun for that exact crunch. And you mentioned it earlier, it feels like they're taking it right out of Crew's play, or 100 Thieves playbook, excuse me. That's exactly, I mean, they've done it. I've seen that play from that.
Yeah, we saw it, we casted it. Yeah, exactly. Other Thieves are left wondering right now. Where is this stack of Crew gonna be? Making some noise towards that arcade side of the map. It allowed Crew to shift over a little bit, but Other Thieves want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Looks like they're gonna regroup with Cryo in A main, but now you're gonna have to run into all this Vice utility. Those Thorns are so powerful.
Okay, smokes down.
Do you scale up into heaven? You're at least gonna
They leave
try.
side though.
Austin
This
awaiting
isn't
on the
too
other
bad
side.
for.
You mentioned
Wait,
some
wait.
Vice utility.
Okay, well at least they're doing it
Hasn't
together,
been
I guess.
problematic quite yet. Good. Hi, Belser, what the like, what?
Damn, dude. Okay, yeah. I mean, so you have like an option on defense when you see the smokes, and I thought they were just gonna leave it, but then they kind of, I don't know if they didn't hear any util or what, and realized it was safe for them to go.
So many.
But they just sent it over towards
See,
site
this
here.
is the, you know, we talked about a Crew that
And
needs
again,
to
at least
bounce
there's like
back
2 of
after
them
the loss
going through.
against EG.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's just a blip on their a blip on their radar, whatever. This is what makes Crew so scary. This is why we think Crew have finally arrived to compete in a meaningful way. You've got Mazzino, who's insane. We talked about him a couple of times. Melser just had a pop-off performance, 14-9 that round. They're winning without Kesnet having to be the main carrier of the weight.
What the?
Massive out from Asuna, though.
Dude, they got
Good setup this time.
insane
A quick
value for that
approach
flash.
onto that arcade. And now this B site is free, but Mazzino is still alive.
100 Thieves in a
Nice
really
shot.
good spot, though, yeah, and it's gonna go from good to even better as Mazzino gets clean.
Okay, they kind of need to keep this one insanely clean, and I think I like what I see on site right now. They throw Xander the spike as well, trying to get that ult early. Like they gotta make the most out of this one. 100 Thieves are about to get all of their ults though.
Xander has his ult. They've got a lot behind this punch in the next couple of rounds for the attacking side.
And they need it if they want to even the score up, right? And
Right.
they need to do it cleanly as well, like you said. They should be able to do
Jinx
so.
crew.
If I'm
I mean, they're
Shy right here, I'm
looking
sitting at
good,
$7,000.
dude.
I
So
mean,
don't
I'm
want
probably
you
trying
me to say.
go for as many
Like they're
kills
massively in
as
control.
possible.
That's what you're
Two
looking
off of his
for.
ult, too. I
Yeah,
mean, why not?
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. There's no reason not to.
Well, he's
And
gonna get a shot at
He
it.
made the correct call here. Let's see
Dude,
if one of these are aware. Let's
they're
see
not
how
even
many
considering
shots
this.
they get, actually.
He hears them.
Surely good for one. Oh,
Yeah,
Bushi
they need
was
to keep this clean.
doing this.
Oh boy.
And that's just tough. I mean, we've
Yeah.
all been there. You hear all those footsteps. You think
Sometimes you
you're
look
ready,
like
but you're actually
Aspas,
not,
sometimes
right?
you look
Yeah.
like Bacan.
I'm gonna
It
get at
is what
least
it
one
is.
here.
Yeah, Crisis avoided 400 Thieves, though. I mean, he definitely could have gotten more than one in that moment. It didn't look like players up 100 Thieves were quite ready for that, but here's that aggression in the beginning. I mean, I thought they
By the
nerfed
time
the
in this
neon
flash
slide.
and stun was nice, though.
But it looks
Get the
like
salvos
Kevin
to
and
force them
Alster
into
don't
the
care
neon stun. That's cool.
whatsoever about that. That first bullet still coming through.
I made myself move like a bug. I knew you'd get me by.
That must have been at the end. That must have been at the end against Shy, surely.
Okay, so again, a quick look at the situation for 100 Thieves. Look at all of the ults that they have online or are about to have online. They just procced the Vice Wall towards Arcade as well.
Yeah, now they're shifting back towards this A main.
Okay, last time they droned from close, they sent it. Keep an eye on Mazzino. He is in a position to stun off of
There's
this.
danger. Mazzino still has this wall, or his stun, excuse me.
Kesnet still has an op.
Now used. That's the first line that they've been
Oh
able
my
to
god,
cross
this
by. They
util's
haven't
nice,
really been able to do
though.
anything about this. Meanwhile, Adversal
This is
swinging
nice
in
from
the flash,
100
Mazzino
Thieves.
pops the ult, and now they've got so much more behind this. Breathing
he
room for the
just-
attack.
Yeah, he
So
does.
pressured right now. Asuna's running it down onto actual
Dude, Asuna. Must be so sick having someone like him on your team. He's fearless, bro.
Again. Clean multi-kill out of him. And again, Shy left in a 1vx situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure if EU heard that little footstep. I think
Okay,
he
very,
did
very nicely
at
done. They get
very
the plan
last
on top of
second.
this as well. Where's the
And
money?
pace
Is the
that
money
100 Thieves have
still...
approached these last two rounds
full
has
loss
been
bonus?
So fast, so aggressive. And it's all started
They
with
got a call
Asuna.
to make because...
And they still have 3 ults
Two
in
that's
play.
like in a weird position.
The movement
Get some light armors
in
maybe.
A main from Asuna pose so many problems and
Hazza, hello mate.
threats to
Thank you for the
Crew.
5 months, bro. I appreciate the tier 1. Feeling the groupium. Look nice on this one.
To be the one to swing in, while Kesnick got pushed off the line, the off line.
Nice.
To be able to clean that
Thank
up.
you, thank you.
It's like operators in this map so far in this series haven't really
Oh,
been
that's a
able to
fast
get value,
one.
but Melzer
They
does
take down the
against Xander,
smokes.
spamming him through
Wait.
the smoke in B main. No smokes for the attacking side is very difficult.
Yeah,
All
no
you
smokes to the
have is that
attacking side
neon
is
wall now.
insanely rough.
It
I think he
kinda makes
probably...
more sense
I would be
to
okay with
go towards
Cryo
A
popping
from
his ult.
drop, because there's less things you have
That's
to
probably a
figure
hot
out.
take, but
The thing is A main
you
will not be
gotta
smoked.
get picks.
And if you look where Crew
And
are
this
on
would be the
map,
best way to do
they're
it.
in A main. This is going to be very difficult without having that Brim utility online. You might have to compensate and use some ults to actually get on the site itself.
Yeah,
Something
they
that
at
you
least have
maybe
the
wouldn't rather wanna
they at
do.
least have the all-in of the neon wall.
Somewhere. Try to manipulate some rotation, try to alleviate some of this pressure. And he might just do it. They know it's just Cryo, though. Still, 3 towards B. They're not rotating off.
Yeah. This neon wall is the only cover that 100 Thieves are going to be able to get, and it's working for them. They're going to have control of the site.
Cryo has a lot to do here. If he can alleviate some of this, he's able to get
Cryo
one
did
trading
great
back,
though.
Some
Breach
work
ult
done.
goes in, that boosts
Still
him
more
up
to come.
towards the
Rolling
top, still
Thunder
no plant
fading
on this
away
one.
towards
Ult
A.
back to make sure they can get
Traded
the
right
plants,
back,
they didn't
though.
get too much space.
Now the barrage
Brim ult
utility
now stops the
continues.
plant, and they might have to
Global
try and
strike
double
from
swing
A.
over towards site. That's a great ult to
Yeah,
allow the
this- I mean,
plant, but
this
honestly this is
standard
really
approach
all in
is
for
the way of
100
all of
Thieves,
these
especially
is really
this
burning the
round or
clock, you're
nothing.
right.
We'll get the plant, though. Asuna.
Asuna's got to do a lot.
Ja.
1 kill found. Now they know where he is. Can he connect on another? Time running out. Off the swing. Boostio trying to help him.
He did a really
That's
good
good.
job of
Kesnick
like
some
trying
time
to
bought.
buy time so
On the
Boostio
other
could
side
get there
of
for
the
the
ball
trade.
line, meanwhile,
It's a
EU
great
tried
stunt
to
for his team.
Deal with what's potentially coming
Wait,
in
how's
from
Boostio
Smart.
alive?
Side by side, try to keep Crew back. The ult surely secures the situation. You left with 1. Missiles out. Not gone to half yet. Still has a stun. Not really at a good angle to use it. Switches to the primary
Okay,
weapon.
nicely handled from Crew. I think that's the
Shy.
map. I think they went too all in with
Making his
this
attention
to lose it.
known.
Yeah.
Wow. Crew get to 11.
That was a very
Brook, thank you so
disciplined
much, dude.
retake
Appreciate the
from
tier
Crew.
1.
Seriously,
Thank you for the
Kesnick
tier
staying
1, mate.
alive that entire time in
Appreciate
A-main,
you.
not allowing Cryo to
Thanks
get
for
the
doing
trade
that.
onto him, not allowing Asuna to get the trade onto him. He did so much work, he pulled so much gravity on that retake that it allowed Mazzino the time to get his utility back. Yeah, that's just a nasty opener. But yeah, Kesnick getting these 2 kills were so impactful. It allowed for this retake to actually come through. And the discipline you have to not allow 100 Thieves to crawl their way back into that round, with them committing the ults that they did. I mean, the Armageddon, the Breach ultimate
Rough
of
timeout
themselves.
here.
It's
What
very
ult did they
impressive for
save?
Crew.
I feel
the
like they
discipline
saved
really
one.
shined.
And we've been talking about that
It's
for
just,
a little bit. They were
just a
sitting
chamber,
on
right?
a ticking time bomb,
Yeah.
right? We were just waiting when our 100 Thieves going to blow these, because we know that those are massive ults in these rounds, and those are what could swing things back their way, but beautifully navigated by Crew.
You got to see the implications of your smokes player dropping early right there, right?
Right.
You're kind of forced to go A, because that's the only site where the neon wall truly covers most of the chokes that you're going to get shot from or util bombed from. And that's just rough, because it forces you to have to use your ults more reactionary, ults that you would rather just use and win a round cleanly.
Right, of course.
So now 100 Thieves, they blow their second timeout. By the way, I don't think Crew have used a single timeout in this series.
No, I don't think so.
And that last half was very close. So they're very confident. I think Adam is very confident in the game plan that Crew have instilled, understanding that they're in the driver's seat of this match. They're the
Okay, it
ones
looks like
that should
off the
be able
back
to
of an
take this one
attack
home.
timeout,
You were telling
Crew
me
want to
Shy
go
felt
super
like after the
aggro.
loss last week, it was a wake-up call for them. They're
Yep.
prepped.
What is
I mean, you
it?
can tell
Smoke
you saw
down?
a lot of the way they've approached this against Cryo, a
Smoke
lot of the
is
way they've really handled 100
Smoke
Thieves
here.
as a whole.
Neon
That's been really
sender.
impressive. Look at some of the early aggression towards the southern side of the map. Kesnick in a really nice spot. Gets ahead of the smoke, spamming through.
Oh, I
What's
did
the
like
second player
bug and
behind this?
I did a
They're
bug
just
and I
gonna
could
try
see
to
through it
fight
at one
and
point there.
Asuna
What was that?
faces it.
Just complete brute force. Yeah, he got set up with a flash. Let's see if he gets the third on site. Takes all that tower control.
Shame.
Of course.
Shy. Nicely done to get one, but just not enough.
Great answer back. You does get the jump spot onto adverse, so there's not much you can do when you're stuck in the
Last
chamber
player
trip.
standing.
What a reaction from 100 Thieves. It just seems like when
Asuna,
100
no,
Thieves
yeah,
just hold
dude,
W,
he's so
they tend to win
fearless.
the rounds against Crew.
Yeah,
When they deathball and Asuna gets supporting utility.
I do also think, at
Let's
least
talk
for
about the
me,
money.
I feel like I have a lot
We
of
gotta
questions
talk about the
on
money while he's
why
saving.
Crew decided
1-9
to
loss
approach that
bonus.
way, right? If you are going to do a southern side crunch,
The
felt like you were
full
missing
eco on
something
this
early
one. This
utility.
will
You
be
were
a
just trying to
gun.
get Hesnit
If he can
into more of an aggro
save, he would
spot,
have
but,
another.
I felt like there were a
Well,
couple
he'd be able to
pieces
drop
missing
like a
there.
sheriff, maybe
Maybe just
stinger.
not ready for the adaptation that 100 Thieves made of sending more players than just Xander there.
Michael, thank you so much
they
for that.
understood, okay, Xander was here
in the
last time, we
YouTube
spammed
chat.
him through the smoke. Maybe this time we can run him down with
Asana.
multiple members.
W
If we
Asana.
get that punish
He,
again,
he
we
loves
saw
the
easy
W
round
key, you're
win
not
plus
wrong.
Right.
when 100 Thieves didn't have any smokes on the field. But a great adaptation from 100 Thieves.
Thank
to
you for
kinda
doing that,
take
Michael, dude.
control back,
Appreciate it.
take that space back, saying, okay, if it is just going to be Melzer running down and shooting through the smoke, maybe we could punish him ourselves. I mean, ends up getting 2 here. What is that?
Dude, that looks
Right, I
ins.
guess, and then
Wait,
Stuff like
what?
that happens, yeah.
How does he do stuff like this?
That's.
You know, all of a
Can I get a
sudden,
vamos? Vamos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Vamos. Vamos. Vamos.
Why was it only 2 players doing it though, Doug? Why was it only 2
Well, the
players
others
doing
might have
Where's-
done it with.
Where's the team
Just
morale?
another replay man might have owned
100
him.
Thieves in a really good
The
spot
replay man
here.
really
I
could have
mean, you
owned
take a
him.
look at the
Could have just
economy
cut
for
some
Crew, it's
silence
not
in there
great now.
after.
Adverso's ult is up. So you imagine that's coming into play into the next round, but
Okay, hero
The
gun.
only way you invest
Hero
that early
gun.
on is if you somehow get a couple picks.
Yeah,
I think
you need
Shy.
2.
Yeah, I think Shy was heard backing off of drop here, and every single time this has happened for 100
Dude,
Thieves,
they're
it's
really
gonna
thinking
push
ahead.
Arcade for Crew.
Xander was right.
That's a gun down. You get that weird
Now is
situation that
where
we
you
were talking
start
about
thinking,
earlier.
Maybe I commit.
Okay, they might be able to get the gun and just throw it out the map.
I think you still need a little bit more.
There needs to be more delay for Crew.
Dude, 100 Thieves love ignoring the
100
guns and
Thieves
just
speeding up towards
insta-taking
Coil of
space.
Thorns is enough here, Doug.
And see the
I think
calling
just
style.
the inevitable here, and I think Austin recognizes that, trying to scale up a little bit to take these fights. Note it's just Shy with the weapon now. Mazzino's down, and I think that question about whether or not you invest it just kind of gets answered for you, no?
All 4 members pushed up towards spawn. This could. I was gonna say it could be disastrous for Crew, but wait,
What?
Armageddon is used?
One enemy remaining.
Oh no. That's craziness. Just no value from that at all. Already down 4v2 when we pop that. 100 Thieves will win this round fairly clean. A reactive push into spawn on the post plant. And we just wasted our Armageddon on the side of Crew. Maybe a little bit of nerves. Maybe, yeah, now there should be a timeout being put into play. Nice shot from Cryo there, by the way. Good reaction.
What did he see to...
One enemy remaining.
yeah, it was a 4v2 when he popped the ult, right?
Yeah, it was.
Vamos, vamos. Vamos on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Vamos.
100 Thieves are happy with that one, that's for certain. Now Crew are gonna have to try to win a round
it's a-
without a very impactful ultimate.
The
and
warranted
Adverso, he is
timeout
sitting
after
at
this
6 and
one.
15, so
Probably,
maybe just
hey
trying to
guys,
get out
this
of his
is
head a
our
little
game.
bit.
Make sure you
That
don't
in
throw
this
ults into a
timeout would be,
2v4 when
good
you're
thing
eco.
For Adam to try to do, because that is rough. I mean, using it all in a 2v4 when you're on eco,
And getting no value out of it either.
yeah. Something that you really wish you would have had. But you can't dwell on the past. You just have to look forward if you're Crew. You're still in the lead right now. You have a healthy bye going into this next round. You're able to use your first timeout and make a plan to deal with this aggressive style that 100 Thieves have been doing.
They lose, it's a red card, but it is a red card. It's a red card on its own, mate. Let's get it out. That's outrageous,
Saw what
dude.
happened last time they had a lot of ults though. Crew still
Like
ended up
they
winning,
actually lose the map. I'm
in
not
that
saying it's
favor,
fully
so
down to that, but
that
it's
Armageddon
little things like that that
being used too early,
always add
not
up.
too important.
I would say as well, on this map, you know that they can't go dish as well.
You kind of have to pull
Oh,
this one
it's-
off. Your
it's
money's
pretty
not great.
criminal.
100 Thieves are knocking on the door of 11. They've got a couple volts that are in the
Pettis, thanks so much for the prime, bro.
vicinity.
Appreciate the whole
Battle
year.
in
Thank you for
AMA
doing
as
that.
well.
Now, is it gonna be
Let's
the same
go,
idea? Is it gonna
Crew.
be the Slayer
Let's hope
approach,
they
where first you missile,
use better
then you
ults
stun,
than that.
Austin's already dead. A great opener out from Kesnit.
Wait.
Traded back.
Oh, they did the. Wait, did they even?
Kesnit's just swinging and fighting with reckless abandon. 3 on the round.
I think they did the
It was a desperately
stun,
needed one for the defensive side.
salvo,
They have delivered.
reach damage.
Catching right with a main control. EU in a 1v3
The DRX,
situation
yeah, I think
here.
so.
He does have a lot of time to work with.
He just doesn't really have any personnel to go work it
Well,
with.
I like how
He
Crew
can
play
isolate
this.
a lot of these 1v1s.
That's a huge if.
Yeah, he might be able to bring this one back. 400 Thieves. I mean, he's going to hope for that, right? He's going to hope that he can get these 1v1s against Crew. But with the way that Crew have been playing the discipline that they've had, you know, bear the last round, it's you imagine it won't be easy for him. Even this approach, and Melzer still has smokes online. He still has a molly. If
Off
Kesnet really
Waylay?
wants to,
Waylay
he
doesn't
can
need a
use
buff.
those hot hands to get another.
Doesn't need nerf, doesn't
slide
need a
in.
buff, it's fine.
No, I do think the conversation
30 seconds left.
probably needs to turn toward. So if you're EU here,
Like, good on certain maps,
Do you
well,
save?
you're what, halfway to your ult? No, sure
viable on
not.
certain
But
maps.
you're halfway to
Good
your
enough.
ult. And so I think any value can get out of it. I mean, think about this. He spikes, he gets a plant down, that's one ult pip, and then he assume he dies without getting anything
Done.
else.
He didn't plant.
He didn't, yeah, he didn't plant. You're right.
Well,
But he does die. So
It
he
doesn't
gets a
matter
little
too
bit
much in
closer to
terms of the
having
plant.
Online. And again, that in my opinion is the swelling point for 100 Thieves, but leaving one off kind of hurts.
And now because you got punished like
yeah, this
this,
is a strong,
so early
strong,
on,
strong A main
are
hold.
you kind of hesitant now to make an aggressive play? Do you play more methodical in this following round?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like a you're
The
damned if
ult
you
here,
do,
the
damned
ult
if
here
you
is
don't
so fine.
situation, right? Because
The crew ult,
most of the halves, their
100% fine.
aggressive pushes have
To get
been
you to match
your
points in
success.
Neon ult, you're
Yeah,
going to have
yeah,
money
you take a
anyway,
look at the
most
minimap, the
likely.
play,
You got
look,
2
it's not changing
chances
at all.
to 1v3. Make sure that
Heavily
you can take the
towards
distance, slide
The
out,
drone, you proc
get the
wall.
reset of your
Where they
slides.
go off of this, though. This is
I think
where
it's
they show a couple of different
100%
looks.
a final.
I think now is a good time to slow down. Now is the perfect time to slow down, but they just want to extend it.
No, Asuna has his ult, Xander has his ult as well. If you get a little bit of a knowledge on where the majority of the defense is, you're dumping that ult. Asuna with a massive kill, now ult popped, a second one found. I mean, if you're 100 Thieves in this situation, Xander dies, but you're going to carry that into the next, assuming you can convert. But a 3v2, still not out of the woodworks.
One enemy remaining.
That
Oh.
will help. But
Oh.
Verso's
Oh.
got it down to a 1v1. What is this? Can Verso put
No
the
way,
wood
he's
in
dinking
HP
everyone.
Asuna? How much better
Oh
off?
boy.
Verso with 3 in the map for Crew.
God.
Wow.
That's a
Verso,
rough
all players in
1v3
this
to
series
lose for
stepping up
100
huge.
Thieves.
Yeah, he may
Adverso
have
had an
blundered his ult a
insanely
few
quiet
rounds back,
game, and
but
then he does
clutches
that at
it
the
to
end.
secure this first map win of
Wow.
Fracture. 100 Thieves map pick. Jeez. And it's so important for Crew.